Welcome back to the Creatively Challenged podcast for Monday,
Martin Luther King Day.
January 15th. I am one of your hosts, Ryan Nolan, and I'm here alongside Mike Stuglis. What's up, Mike?
Hello, Ryan. You're back. How is Mexico?
Well, you're back too.
No, I was on last week's
We're back.
episode.
We're back in Colombia, but I'm also
Everybody's
back. In the show.
back.
I was in Mexico,
But you're
though.
back.
You guys, I listened to last week's episode. You guys didn't know where I was, or did you know and you just couldn't?
No, he
think
said
of-
you were being held
I
for
didn't.
ransom.
Oh, okay.
We said that you wanted to smuggle drugs back, but you probably got caught.
Yeah, you see, I was crossing the border, and when the cartel gets a hold of you, they just turn you into a mule, and they give you a 60-pound
Like in Pinocchio.
brick. Not that kind of mule.
Oh,
A drug mule. And so they gave me a 60-pound burlap brick that I held on my back with just 2 twine strings. And after a while, and you start sweating in the heat, the twine digs into your shoulders, and they got really red. And then eventually another cartel found me, assaulted me, and took the weed. And I was left there, and I walked for miles to the Texas border where the Coast Guard,
the Tejas
helped me.
border.
The Tejas border. So it was a good vacation.
In Pinocchio, Jiminy Cricket calls Pinocchio a jackass, and jackass is said a few times.
Was it okay to say because it was in donkey context?
I think so, but I don't even think Disney would do that nowadays. I miss the Disney when Walt was alive.
The old anti-Semitic one.
Yeah, because then because then Rose wouldn't be a Star Wars character.
That's debatable. Well, that's Dan Stewart over there.
Hello.
How are you?
Pretty good, right? But the listeners are listening on Martin Luther King Day. There's no school today, but there's still like work,
Yeah.
probably. I don't know. I'm not working tomorrow.
Do you think it's right that we have just off days on national holidays? Where usually people don't do it for anything. Like isn't there a George Washington Day? Or am I
It's
totally-
George Washington's birthday
That's
and
right.
it's President's Day.
That's right. Is it? Do you guys think it's right that like some people just have off for that, even though no one celebrates it or
I thought
cares?
you just get discounts on electronic equipment.
There is that, but I don't really get the whole advent of that in the first place.
Remember when Circuit City existed and that was their big day? Was the President's Day, and now Circuit City's
Yeah.
out of business?
They're gone.
I know.
They just relied on the sales. Couldn't keep up.
Sells.
Yeah. For the uninitiated, each and every week here on Creatively Challenged, we talk entertainment news, review a movie, except not this week, and discuss random topics that we bring to this $34 card table.
Yeah, so we said we were going to review The Post, but that didn't happen because we were all busy like moving back down here to college. So that's not happening. But like it's like a month before the Oscars, so we're going to try and see like all the movies that are probably going to get nominated
Yeah.
for Best Picture between now and then. So like within the next couple of weeks, we'll see movies that have been out for a little bit and we just haven't got to see them, like The Post and I, Tonya, and that other one about the 80s gay guy in Europe or whatever.
Call me by your name. That
Yeah,
one.
that's
Yeah.
the one. And I mean, there's not really any other things coming out too, so we now have time to just like see these nice artful films.
January is always a slow month
Yeah.
because you're coming off of all the Oscar heap, and then it's usually just like shitty horror movies that they plug in, like that Den of Thieves movie. Have you heard of that?
No, what's that?
It's some like bank robbery movie. It has like Gerard Butler and like O'Shea Jackson Jr.
yeah.
in it. It doesn't look good.
No, it
50 cents
doesn't.
in it.
Yeah, 50's in it.
That's a
but-
January movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a January
sounds
movie.
like it.
But never mind.
All right,
I was thinking like Deadpool, but Deadpool was February. It came out Valentine's Day, so
that was such a good release date for that too.
it was.
You guys ready to get in the news?
Yeah.
All right. I got the first story. Ridley Scott, the director of Alien and Blade Runner, has an idea for a third Blade Runner movie. And so there's not like a screenplay at this point or anything, and I don't think he really has one. But off of the bad box office success of Blade Runner 2049, I'm not quite sure that studios are even going to want to make this unless they're very devoted to making just a great movie like Blade Runner 2049 was. But I don't even know if they should make it. I mean, no one thought that the 2049 should have been made, but then it was just like really great. So I don't know. What do you think?
Well, Ridley Scott didn't direct 2049, to clarify.
That's true,
So,
but he produced it,
and
right?
he keeps coming back with his original hits, like he keeps making Alien movies. So it just seems like, Ridley Scott is a very accomplished director, but he likes to keep bringing back these successes that he's had. And I don't know if it's because he wants to just do another movie or but there's no money to be made here. So that's what
Yeah.
I am totally down for this movie if he wants to make it. I just hope he doesn't make it like some because he even came out and said he's like Blade Runner 2049 was too long and too slow. Even though he liked it, he said it was a good movie. That was his personal opinion. That to me says like I want to come back and make it like an action movie for people to remember and like make because I assume it would be about the war between the Nexus and
The
the
apes
humans.
and the humans.
Yeah, definitely.
Sorry.
War for the Blade Runner.
War for the planet of the Blade Runner apes. War for the planet of the 2049 apes.
But you think it'd be that?
Yeah, so I don't know. I was happy where the story left off.
Yeah, they should just leave it at that. And it's gonna be hard to get anybody involved in this.
But
Yeah,
I
definitely.
mean, spoiler alert, kind of. I'm not, but
If it's a spoiler, don't do it.
They could make another one, but that means Harrison Ford would have to come back.
Well,
Yeah,
they could.
I
I
don't
don't
think he
know
would.
if
They
he
could
would.
make another one, but at the same time, to me, it wouldn't feel like a Blade Runner movie, right?
if Harrison Ford.
No, just in general, because it seems like the story wouldn't. It's not about the Blade Runners anymore. It's kind of about a rebellion at this point,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, but that'd be cool though.
It would, but it's not like.
Blade
The first two are not even close to action movies or war movies. They're
No, they're
very
long
neo
crime drama
Yeah.
films. Yeah, I guess that. But like, I could see where they go with the story. Should it be made? I don't think so. I mean, like we just said, the Blade Runner movies are long crime dramas that really have to be appreciated as film. And in the modern era, like, I mean, film gets appreciated a lot less than I feel like it used to. So, I mean, if you're making a franchise, you almost have to be, Star Wars or Marvel to kind of win out there in nowadays film, So I don't know. I mean, Ridley Scott is the creator. I don't want Blade Runner to turn into Alien though, because Alien has fallen on his face within the last few years, so it's whatever.
And it wouldn't, I don't think, make money, especially after that. And like 2017 was actually the lowest number of sales for tickets in the box office since a year in the 90s that I don't remember. But like that's just a bad sign. I don't know if it's a trend that it's going down each and every year, but like they're in this for the money, and if they see that he wants to make another one but the last one flopped, I don't see it happening. But he's thinking about it, and that's good.
Flippy flopped.
Yeah, totally. What's our next story, Mike?
Leonardo DiCaprio has been cast as the lead in the new Quentin Tarantino film that's going to be about like the Manson murders in 1969. And last time we saw, yeah, you laughing at 69?
Yeah.
Last time we saw, I just knew. Last time we saw Leonardo DiCaprio in a Tarantino movie was Django Unchained, where he played Calvin Candy, and he was fantastic. And in this movie, it's rumored that his character will be an aging actor who is best friends with his stunt double. The stunt double, they're also rumoring, can be Brad Pitt or Tom Cruise, as like they're like buddies, like kind of roaming around, and somehow they get involved in the Manson murders. But anyway, that's kind of what they're rumoring DiCaprio's role will be. And Tarantino said he also wants Al Pacino, but right now there's no clarification on that. I just added that to the story. But what do you guys think of DiCaprio being cast as the lead? And we haven't seen him since The Revenant in 2015.
Yeah. Al Pacino, I feel like wouldn't fit, but Leo is very selective about the roles he does. So the fact that he's coming back to do Quentin, he enjoyed his time with Django, and he was awesome in that. And I don't think he'll do like a small kind of role either. So clearly he's he's in the long run here. So this is awesome. This is great, and I'm glad this movie's kind of growing, but I mean, concerns show for this film that like in today's society, like it might not be, you know, well received because of murders and rapes and all that stuff. So, like but it's Tarantino, it's Leonardo DiCaprio, and then whoever else is in the ensemble cast. There's a lot of rumors right now. It's going to be a fantastic film. Whether everybody thinks that is probably not going to happen. There are people who just don't like Tarantino, but Leo being added to this project is awesome because he's the best.
When you talk about modern social problems, I feel like certain people get away with it because they handle it correctly, and Tarantino's definitely one of those people
Well,
that
yeah,
can.
he's gonna turn it into a comedy though. That's what I mean. Like people will be like, "Oh, he's."
I mean, like they made there was a rape in Hateful Eight that he made comical, but at the same time it was somehow handled well.
Well, it's because the rape was done to a racist.
And it was done to a bad person, and the character that did it in the first place was already unsavory, and it's like the right sort. I don't know. Even when he's has a lot of characters that are misogynistic in his films, and like they're always a bad character established in the first place. So people bag on him because of that, and they say, "Oh, he's just a pig. He's a misogynist." But like that's not. He doesn't mean he is. His characters are. And why did we get onto this? Because you thought people would have problems with the social problems?
You know what?
Yeah.
Either way, it shows every time
Yeah.
that it overcomes it. 'Cause he's nominated for best original screenplay almost every time he writes a movie. So
It's it almost sounds ironic to say this, but he does it tastefully.
yeah.
And I think you're always going to find people that have something to talk shit about with like most movies. I don't know.
More so on the DiCaprio side, though.
Yeah, I'm all in on that. I mean, we saw in Django Unchained that he works very well with Tarantino, and I was actually kind of worried about because we know it's about the Manson murders, and then there's this Hollywood in the '60s and '70s plot that's also involved, and I was worried about who's going to be cast in that. What is this character going to be doing? But now to hear that Leonardo DiCaprio is going to be carrying it, I'm very happy because I don't know if it's totally going to be focused on the Manson murders, and I'm excited to see that he can now carry this part that I was worried about. So
Well,
I'm all for this
I
film.
did read in an interview, Tarantino's like, it's not a movie about Charles Manson. And
Yeah.
it's a movie about 1969, and Charles Manson was in the area.
Mhm.
So I feel like Manson will be like a character of like 10 to 15 minutes of screen
Maybe
time,
like Hitler in Bastards.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's kind of what I got out
So
of
that's good because now we know that this is going to be carried by Leonardo DiCaprio. And so I'm really excited now.
I just imagine too, like him and Tom Cruise bouncing off each other. It's like Tom Cruise,
be
like
great.
this, like I imagine him as like this uppity, like stunt double. I just see like a very hilarious dynamic if that turns out to what it is.
Tom Cruise being in that type of role would be like Tropic Thunder. Tom Cruise's character in Tropic Thunder is the best part of that movie, and he's so funny. So like him doing something like similar to that, it'd just be fantastic for Tarantino. But
Yeah, I think everyone's on board with
we're-
this.
Yeah,
Quick question.
Everybody's on board. Like I don't think there's anybody who's like, oh fuck, Leo's in that movie.
Dan, do you have a problem with how Tarantino sometimes makes things into comedic parts?
No.
Okay.
I'm just saying everybody else does.
People do. Okay.
Yeah, like this is how I mocked people like talking about it. I went because it's
Okay, I
bullshit.
get it.
Yeah,
I
so,
get
like,
ya.
I'm not saying it like I'll have a problem with it. I'm saying other people will. And
I get
like,
that.
And it like when we reviewed Blade Runner, the fact that people are like, yeah, it was too long. Like the fact that that's the only criticism they have is they're like fucking half-wits.
You know he's gonna again change history, and he's gonna kill Manson in this movie probably, like
That'd be
he
sweet.
did kill Hitler in Inglourious Basterds.
And there's the thing. Like I was just gonna talk about that scene. They shoot Hitler's face to bits, and then it's hilarious. And then you notice how many like people are just getting murdered, and you're like, oh my god, this is horrible. Even though the people were all bad people in that room, but like he always handles it well. Both of those emotions were cooked into that scene.
They boxed the Nazis in, and then the Bear Jew is mowing them down with an MP40 from above. Like
Yeah.
it's like the fucking Vegas shooting, but he made it funny.
And then they all blow up. And
then they all blow up.
That's a far stretch
Yeah.
of a parallel. But I mean, is that all we got on this story?
Yeah.
Okay.
It is. That is how it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, or just like any other shooting.
Yeah.
Just like he's shooting. But
You know what? It was like that though.
yeah, kind of.
Let's move on.
Well, yeah. What's
All
the
right,
next
the
story?
next
Dan?
story, via Twitter earlier this week, Ryan Reynolds dropped a photo in his Deadpool costume with a caption that officially moved the Deadpool 2 film up to May 18th, and it was supposed to come out on June 9th. But to do this, in the picture, it was the bottom of his two katanas, and it said B. Arthur on there. B. Arthur is the actress who plays Maude and is in The Golden Girls, and that's just hilarious. But it was a funny way to do that, but the big news is obviously Deadpool 2 is moving up to May 18th. How do you guys feel about that now that it's coming out in the same month that Infinity War as well as Solo is coming out?
That's gonna be a big month. I'd love to know why they did it. Maybe it's to be more competitive. I have no idea. It was probably gonna make a lot of money regardless, I'd say, unless it's somehow a flop. But that's just it's more just like strange, and I just want to know why. I'm still obviously equally excited for this, but I just wondered the reason, and so I didn't do enough digging on this story, but I'd love to know why.
I'm looking up the things
Okay.
surrounding it.
Any speculation on your side, Dan?
From like why it should be. Well, here's the thing. Like, I mean, Disney's predicting that Solo's not going to be that good, and I mean, a lot of people are kind of thinking that as well. Because still, we've gone another week of talking about it, and there's still no trailer.
I know. I think I know why.
Why?
Solo was supposed to be before, and now Deadpool is before. I think they wanted one really strong week independently before Star Wars came out.
Okay.
Because Solo was supposed to come out like a week or two before the Deadpool movie, and now it's coming out. Now Deadpool's before. So I think they just wanted to make money before and alongside Solo.
Okay.
And Infinity War is like May 4th, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So they'll have like 2 or 3 weeks before then.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You know, I mean, I guess it's just Disney protecting themselves, like trying to make as much money as possible. But now they've got 3 huge, gigantic releases in 1 month. So that's great on their part. I mean, Deadpool will be funny. We're all gonna go see it. Like, that'll be fine. The first one was so well received. This one will be as well. Infinity War is gonna make like $100,000,000. Like, it's not even an astronomical number that
All the money.
exists. Like, it's just gonna make all the money. And Solo is probably gonna make a lot of money too because people are interested. But I don't think people are going to be rushing in to see it like The Last Jedi. I mean, it's not an episodic title. I don't think Rogue One did all that
Rogue
well.
One didn't do as well as Force
Yes.
Awakens. I mean, it did well. It
Yeah,
did really
but-
well, but it didn't do it
But
as
people
well.
are like, oh, since it's, not episodic, I don't really need to see it. And since it reportedly just craps on Han Solo, like, I don't know. People have just, I don't even think people really know about it unless you're a Star Wars fan or a movie fan, because without a trailer, without any posters or anything like that, people have no idea.
You know what did occur to me the other day, though, is we're shitting on Han Solo for not having a trailer out. Deadpool doesn't have one out either.
They made a teaser,
Yeah, they've had several teasers.
but not official.
I know,
one,
but it
it's
was
something.
it is.
But Han
it is,
Solo's
but
had
I was,
0 teasers, 0 promotional arts, 0 anything. Deadpool's had a lot of that, and Ryan Reynolds has done that for the last year over Twitter.
that's true. Yeah, that's true.
so, like,
There's
there's...
good sentiment there.
yeah.
Like, people know another Deadpool's coming out.
Right.
Not everyone
Yeah.
knows there's a Han Solo
There,
movie.
there was
coming out.
announcements like they made the casting of Cable. People were following that, but radio silence on Solo.
I'm so excited to see Josh Brolin as Cable.
Yeah,
I am so excited.
that guy got cut as fuck. Like, that's probably the most exciting thing, at least on my end. That guy looks amazing.
Now, he can be in the same universe now because Disney has
Oh, yeah.
all of... So, Josh Brolin in the same Disney universe is Cable and Thanos.
It's a huge question if they're gonna merge.
I don't think they will.
The potential... obviously, they can now, but
Yeah.
I don't know if they will.
I think they're going to start fresh with some characters. I
Yeah.
think that's what they're going to do.
Probably. All right, is that it on Deadpool 2?
Josh Brolin has Infinity War, Deadpool 2, and Soldado, the Sicario sequel, all within like a month.
He's gonna probably have to do a shit ton of press. That
Yeah.
sounds miserable.
Yeah.
In 1 month.
Because I mean, there are gonna be press tours for Deadpool 2 and
At the same time.
Infinity War all at the same time.
That sounds exhausting.
I know.
Even for one huge movie, like you got to do a worldwide tour.
Yeah.
For even one of those.
And then he's got to do probably the indie circuit with the other one and all that
Yeah.
bullshit.
Like I'm sure he just said to his wife, like, I'm gonna be just gone. Just consider me gone from this marriage for a month.
I'll be back.
Yeah. Well.
And then he's about to get lowered in the carbonite, and then his wife goes, "I love you," and he goes, "I know," and then he gets frozen in the carbonite, and then he goes on the press tour.
They just load him up with a dolly on the stages.
Yeah.
And then Boba Fett says, "Put Captain Brolin in the cargo hold." Let's move on.
Okay. Well, with this good news with us getting Deadpool sooner, there also is bad news with some Disney Fox property meddlings because the X-Men movie we were promised for April of this year, New Mutants, the sort of X-Men horror spin movie, is now pushed back to 2019. I have no
That's a year.
recollection of if there was a reason, but it's a full year gone now. We had a trailer. We knew who was in it. It looked interesting and exciting, and now it's just a year away. As well as the director of X-Men character Gambit, the director Gore Verbinski left, and the film is now in complete limbo. There's no statement. So New Mutants is gone. It's a year out, and the director of Gambit is gone. I don't think Gambit's going to happen. They've been trying to make that for like 3
You know what I
years.
think it is? I think Disney came in and said, "Nope, we're changing things up."
Yeah.
Boom. Gambit has been rumored to happen for years now with Channing Tatum playing the title role.
Yeah.
So maybe Disney completely is like, "No, we're doing this character our way. You haven't launched it." So that could be what they're doing with that. But the New Mutants thing is like that's a death sentence if a movie gets pushed back that
Like,
long.
why?
Like it had a release date. It's like this is when it's coming out, and now they're like, we're taking it off the table. Like this movie's probably finished filming, and they're now probably have to refilm it. That's my guess.
Allegedly, they were still working on effects when that trailer posted. That we got the teaser trailer, so it wasn't fully done in post, but it would have been ready for April. So unless they really want to do some extra work, like maybe it wasn't the best work they could have done, then Disney was just like, nope, we're making this better. 2019.
It wasn't. Yeah, it
Reshoots.
wasn't even
Who
a
knows?
couple. It wasn't even a couple months.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like if they were behind on effects, they're like, no, 2019.
I mean, like a good pushback is like a quarter or two. A
Yeah.
bad pushback is a year. And I'd like to pull the positives about it. Like Disney is doing good things by they immediately want their properties to be with like upheld with the Disney name and the Marvel name. So maybe it is a good thing. But like I said, like a quarter or two is a fine delay. A year is not. I mean, it is just 2018. It just turned 2018 2 weeks ago, and now they're delaying a movie until next year, and there's no official release date in 2019 for it. So, yeah, that's no good.
Would you guys guess that it's post-production effects work?
You know what I think it is? I think Disney saw it, and they're like, we don't like this, and they're like, we're gonna make it the Disney version.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we get reshoot news soon too.
What if they just scrap the script and like
suck.
redo it?
That would suck.
Because the trailer looked pretty.
I liked it.
The
I liked
trailer looked pretty cool. So this is. I mean, we talked about it on the podcast before. Like, it was supposed to be like a horror film almost. Like it was just. It looked completely different, and Arya Stark is in it, and Jonathan from Stranger Things is in it, and you know, like it looked pretty cool. It looked unique. It looked like, you know, a different take on a superhero film, and now I don't know what it's gonna be.
Yeah. Disney saw that Fox was taking risks and sometimes putting out a shit sandwich of a movie, and they said, we're not doing that. No shit sandwiches. We're going to make
That's a
good movies are better.
that's a shit fucking sandwich.
Yeah,
Dick.
they took a look at that, and they were just like, no.
Why don't you get him to eat a shit sandwich? What is it with you and the shit sandwich? Do you really want to see someone take a turd and roll toilet paper over it?
What is this?
Sonny again.
Okay.
Popping up.
Really niche
my
reference.
my quote was actually
Shits.
from Tropic Thunder.
Oh.
It's Will Arnett And he goes, "That's a shit fucking sandwich, Dick." And he's an announcer for the basketball
Oh,
game,
that's
and he
right.
says that on the mic. But like,
Oh wait, do you mean what'd you say?
it's Will Arnett.
In what?
Tropic Thunder. Not Tropic Thunder.
In semi-pro.
Flint Tropics.
Semi-
There you go.
Semi-pro.
I was like,
Yeah,
Will Arnett
okay,
is
I was
not
totally
in Tropic
wrong.
Thunder.
Yeah,
I've
I
seen
was
that movie
totally
a lot.
wrong. That's my fault because of the Flint Tropics. I got it fucked up. It's semi-pro,
There we go.
and I'm an idiot.
Let's move on.
That's our
Yeah,
news.
I don't really give a shit about Gambit, so
I don't think
that's
people
the
like
news.
it. Do they?
There's
No
better
yeah.
characters.
There's way
Yeah.
better X-Men characters than him.
right.
I do like the sound of Channing Tatum playing a
Yeah.
superhero, but
Well, if we want to throw it in here, the like really quick, the Deadpool director, what's his name?
Tim Miller.
Yeah, is making a Kitty Pryde movie, and she's cool, but like still like there are better X-Men characters than her, but she's getting her own movie.
Yeah.
I like Ellen Page a lot.
Yeah. She was cool in X-Men Days of Future Past. X-Men Days of Future Past plot exists because of Kitty Pryde. So
If people don't know who Kitty Pryde is, she's Shadowcat, an X-Men character that can turn. She can change phases and is able to go through like walls and floors and all that stuff, and it's kind of neat. And she recently had a relationship with Star-Lord in comics, so maybe they might do that. I don't know.
Isn't she like with Iceman in the X-Men movies?
Yeah, and Iceman's gay in comics now.
like he's actually
Yeah. So
You said that with hatred.
I don't hate that he's gay because there's plenty of gay comic characters, but,
but
here's,
making
let me tell
Iceman
you what
gay.
happened. Let me tell you because
Alright.
people don't like this. Well, for the most part, from people I know in comic circles,
Yeah, let's
what they
hear it.
did in comics with Iceman is, I think it was Jean Grey, one time in just an issue, just read his mind, and Iceman was like talking about girls or something. And then she just like stopped and was like, "Iceman, what are you talking about? I'm reading you, and you're gay."
Oh.
And he was like, "Oh," and then he just has been gay since. And he's like, "You know what? Yeah, I'm gay." And I just didn't like how they handled it because like he
So
could
is
have.
Iceman deeply closeted then?
That's what
Because
happened.
Family Guy made a joke about Iceman being gay, and it's just like, has that been like has it ever been like maybe hinted at in previous
Listen.
comics? Like that Family Guy episode was in like 2005. So like, was it ever before that, or was it ever hinted at maybe? Or no?
I am the least versed in X-Men comics, so I could be totally wrong, and they've been doing that kind of stuff for decades. But I know in the most recent Marvel comic continuity, he just has become gay within the like last 3 years, and
Like why
it's
not?
his series aren't really well received.
Like why not just write a new character?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's like
It was just poor handling.
yeah.
I would not have cared if it was well done. Like that's fine. That's not going to change who he is.
Right.
But like they just were like,
You're
a
gay.
character just told him,
Were-
"Oh, you're gay," and he's like, "You're right."
You're
Were they-
right.
That's it.
Were they
I'm
just like
out.
chilling in the mansion, or were they like on a mission?
I didn't read
like,
the issue. I just saw a panel of it
Oh.
because I wanted to know what happened. But that's our news.
Seems a little forced, but yeah.
Yeah, it was. That's why people hate on it. But gay comic characters are just fine.
Yeah.
That's our stance.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
There's not, but the way we're talking about it now makes it sound like that. But there's not.
No. All right,
No.
let's move on.
Yeah. Totally fine.
All right, we are not reviewing a movie this week. We're bringing back another recurring segment. We're recurring once again, underrated, overrated. We've got a big old list because we're not reviewing a movie, so we got a lot of them. We're gonna fire them at you, you know. So just get ready to hear our wacky opinions, and then afterwards, I'll remind you once again to let us know about your opinion. So here we go. Here's the first one: underrated, overrated. Oreos.
Explain what those are.
Oreos are my favorite type of Oreo. I even like them better than the original Oreo. They're Oreos with white cookies and chocolate cream, and they're just fantastic. They're amazing, and I think they're underrated because not a lot of people even know what they are, and they got taken off the shelves ever since some like Mexican distribution company bought out like Nabisco, and Nabisco is now outsourcing their cookie making at Oreo to this Mexican company, and they're just trying all those bullshit like cinnamon flavored Oreos, and they just need to bring back the Oreo, Ryan. So I think they're underrated.
I got family that worked in Nabisco, and just for the record, they just outsourced their stuff to a Mexican plant. That was it. They just moved their plants from the U.S. to Mexico.
Yeah.
I've never had them, but it sounds good, and I'm gonna say it's underrated because I've never had it. and I've never heard of them outside of you. Mike,
I'm not a fan of the Oreo.
have you had it?
I've had them when I was
Okay.
younger, but you know what? I'd like to try them again. I'm going with a hesitant overrated because as a kid I didn't like them, but also nowadays I'm eating things I didn't eat when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So
Your taste change.
my taste changed.
You know,
so
your
so
taste-
right now, I don't.
Under-
I know
okay,
it
that's
as I'm not a
respectable.
fan. but
I'll say like yeah, because you haven't had them enough. Your tastes change every 7 years.
like even through adulthood.
Yeah. And so we're coming up on another change. Maybe at the end of this year we'll like caviar or something. I don't know.
If we could afford it, that'd be good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have Heidi with caviar off my balls.
Ugh.
Wolf of Wall
What?
Street.
Oh, okay. There we go.
All right.
Again,
our next one?
obscure reference.
Really quick before we move on to the next one, they made these bullshit Oreos, and I tried them today. They are hazelnut like Nutella Oreos that look just like Oreos, but they're not, folks. Don't buy them; they're terrible.
They never said they were.
Well, yeah,
It
but
said it was advertised as totally
Yeah,
different.
but they look like them, and it's bullshit. Okay, so the next one is next underrated, overrated. Birthday cake.
Underrated. Love birthday cake if it's good. Tell you what, I hate shitty dry birthday cake with the blue frosting that has the aftertaste. Throw that out in the trash. But a good birthday cake, oh yeah, big time.
You know what? I love birthday cake when it's my birthday, but birthday cake is getting outsourced too much and being made into too many different things, like fucking ice cream and candy bars and stuff. It's like leave it as
Oh,
cake.
like the flavor.
Even
Yeah.
milkshakes are now becoming cakes. It's like leave birthday cake as what it is.
Yeah.
It's a cake. It's different than all the other dairy shit. So
Yeah.
leave it alone. So birthday cake is overrated in the sense that it gets too much usage.
They just made a birthday cake flavored Rice Krispie treat.
Yeah. It's like
That's
Like,
weird.
Yeah, fuck that.
and it's like what is everyone's birthday cake is different.
I know.
I get a chocolate bundt cake with chocolate chips in it. It's amazing. That's my birthday cake, but that's not the birthday cake they're putting in the fucking candies.
Yeah,
you know, everyone's is different.
My birthday
Don't tell
cake,
me what
I
birthday
usually
cake is.
do carrot cake or red velvet cake because I'm a sucker for that cream cheese frosting. It's so goddamn good.
But
Overall birthday cake, like the funfetti kind, like the one that they make flavors into, like I agree with Mike. Like I like my birthday cake, like I said, carrot cake, red velvet cake, but birthday cake overall I think is overrated in terms of desserts. Like cookies and brownies are better.
yeah, well,
I
I
almost-
don't know. That's another
How
discussion.
about
Yeah,
the
but,
cookie cake?
I like cookie cake.
Oh, cookie cake's good.
Not a cake though.
Although
It's the cookie.
Yeah.
some days I might choose pie over cake, but cake is better than pie. So I think it goes brownies, cookies, cake for me, and then pie.
I'll tell you what is overrated about birthday cakes is what happens after you receive it is singing happy birthday. I like it's great to
You don't like
celebrate your
the happy
birthday.
birthday song.
I don't like it because it's depressing. I never like just sitting there and then everyone's singing happy birthday and it's slow. It's drawn out. No one really does it with enthusiasm. Everyone just kind of drags through and you're just sitting there thinking about that you're another year older.
Do you make a wish?
I never really think it. You just blow out the candle. I wish for the cake to be on my plate and in my mouth. That's really about it.
Wait, really?
I never make a wish. Well, I haven't
They
in
really don't
years
come
since
true.
I had a birthday party.
But I do them.
Yeah.
It's part of the sentiment.
Yeah, I make a wish.
Maybe I'm just a sour man.
Yeah.
I'm a real Scrooge.
Want to know what we're gonna do for your birthday? We're gonna bake you a cake and then sing to you.
I'm gonna kill myself.
I'm gonna force you to make a wish.
Let's move on to the next one.
All right. Peanut butter M&Ms. Now these are kind of a relatively new type of M&M. They come in a red bag, but they're completely just a Reese's Pieces ripoff. Have you seen them? Have you tried them?
Yeah. I guess they're overrated, but I've never heard people clamoring for how great they are. But I'm gonna say that the peanut M&Ms are better. I think those are the best M&Ms, but they're like pretty good in terms of those new wacky M&Ms they got out there.
They're kind of just Reese's, right?
Yeah, they
But
really
they're
are.
not. The peanut butter.
It's sweet.
Well, I'll give you my
Oh,
reasons.
I've
after you
had
go
them. They're
on.
underrated. They're
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
I
But I'm
think
saying they're kind of like
overall
Reese's.
they're underrated because they're good. They aren't just a Reese's Pieces ripoff. I think M&M's is like I think their peanut butter is better than Reese's peanut butter. Like I overall choose Reese's better because they started the game. You know, I feel like peanut butter M&Ms are LeBron and Reese's Pieces are Michael Jordan. You know, like they'll never be better than Reese's Pieces, but they're pretty good. You know,
I get you.
like that. Like I'll buy them. They're good. They're really good. But you know, Reese's Pieces are the OG, so you got to go with them. So I think they're underrated. But you know, give them a shot.
What's the next one?
It's awkward.
Chuck E. Cheese's.
Chuck E. Cheese's. I'll go ahead right now and go ahead and say they're overrated, okay? Because I look at these places right now as an adult, and I'm like, these places are goddamn filthy. Our parents had to have. I gotta ask my parents because, like, I remember several times as a kid, like, oh, I want to go to Chuck E. Cheese, and we went to Chuck E. Cheese, but that place had to have been just as filthy then as it is now.
Yeah.
Like looking at those places, they're in these like weird locations, and they're like always like just they just look filthy, and just all the snotty kids in there, and like they're sneezing on stuff, and it's the gross plastic, and then you got the creepy animals up there. Like fuck that place, it's overrated.
It's overrated.
Yeah,
It's over. I don't know how any parent lasts in there, and I don't really like. We liked it as kids, but man, you grow out of that quick.
Oh, yeah.
Toddlers.
Yeah,
Like one to not one, but like to the age of like 5 or 6, and then
Yeah.
after that, Chuck E. Cheese is just disgusting.
and those animatronic things are terrifying.
They used
my
to have a Ninja Turtles like arcade game that was pretty fun, but like
That was
No?
probably just at the one location you went to.
Yeah,
fuck Chuck E. Cheese.
bad place.
All right, socks and sandals is the next one. People say it's a weird dad thing to do.
If I'm in a pinch and gotta get somewhere with something on the bottoms of my feet, I'm going, but I won't do it in the thong sandals with socks. That's a travesty,
Oh yeah,
and it's hard to put on.
Yeah.
But with some slides, yeah,
Slides, it's underrated.
underrated.
Absolutely, I wear it all the time.
It's so quick.
Yeah, but yeah, so slides, it's definitely underrated because like I could even put on flip flops in the winter as long as I got like nice warm socks on. Like I just throw them on. I could go to the store in them, and it's great. Like I love it. I don't know why people don't do it more often. People think it's a weird thing to do.
You want to know why
Socks
we're
and
used to it?
sandals.
Football.
Yeah.
Why'd you do it
You're
for
right.
football?
You don't put your
'Cause
cleats on
you don't-
until around game time, and you walk around through warm-ups and stuff with slides on.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
You guys warmed up with sandals on?
There,
We were doing
we
Okay.
walkthroughs. We weren't like doing actual like warm ups.
Okay,
Yeah. So
It's like something to wear inside.
definitely underrated.
understandable.
All right. Next one, Super Smash Bros. The video game series where Nintendo characters fight.
It's overrated because I always get my ass kicked by people who grew up with it and know how to play
Like
it.
us.
And and it's so goddamn depressing because you just feel useless. It's fun, but I'm gonna say overrated because it's fun. It's not fun when you get your ass kicked every time.
It's my favorite co-op game of all time, so it's underrated.
I don't know. I think the legacy of it kind of overshadows like the gameplay because they've just done the same formula for years. They just add more characters. So in terms of that, I think it's overrated. But do I want a Smash game for Switch? Absolutely. Like I want a Smash game for Switch. I want a Mario Party game for Switch. Mario Party games are awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Smash is a little bit overrated because of the legacy factor.
That's fair. It's totally. I always think of Brawl because
Yeah.
I played it my whole life, but as a whole, they don't
But
change.
in terms, they're the same game. Each guy has a different power. Like they might add a few items, and a few characters, but relatively the gameplay is the same.
All right.
Next one, Altoids. I think they're fucking overrated. Just use a regular mint. You know,
Mints are
you
better.
don't need a little fucking like tin with the just little bullshit in there. You know.
They're really strong, and that's why I'm gonna say they're overrated. It's so minty to like where it hurts, and I like a mild mint that gets the job done. And fun fact: did you know that the mints that contain sugar make your breath worse?
I'm sure.
Because it's got the sugar, and then those just turn into bacteria that makes
Are
your
the
mouth
ones
gross.
I have over there?
Yeah, 14 grams of sugar per however many
You know
pieces.
what though? They make my breath smell alright.
but later on they get you. So you're just gonna have to perpetually take them.
I like
You like the taste, so who cares?
I like gum.
Gum's good. Gum gets the job done.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
does.
The only thing that sucks about gum is you forget how long you've been chewing it sometimes. Like, I've been chewing on this gum for an
I
hour.
chew it for hours.
Yeah.
Like I'll go with the same stick of gum and it'll be in my mouth all day and I'll forget that I'm
Just-
chewing
it
it.
gets
but I'm
old.
chewing it.
So gum's
Yeah.
underrated.
Gum.
It's rated.
No, it's
People
just
love gum.
It's just rated.
It's rated as fuck.
gum.
All right.
But Altoids are fucking overrated. Fuck Altoids.
Next one?
Yeah. NFL football on Saturdays, so it's playoff time, and since college football's done, some NFL games get played on Saturdays, and I think that's overrated. I mean, like, I'm a huge football guy. A lot of people are huge football guys, but Sundays is for NFL. I kind of don't like that NFL footballs are on Saturday because it gives me the Sunday scaries on Saturday, and it makes Saturday feel like a Sunday, and that's gross. I hate that.
It makes football shorter on both days, which I don't like because they can have all the games on Sunday.
Yeah,
They could start early and late, but they
agree.
don't. They split it up, and I don't like it. College is meant for Saturday.
Yeah.
Overrated. Ryan probably doesn't have an opinion.
I don't like watching football.
Overrated.
It's overrated.
Yeah, but when we don't give you enough attention on Sundays,
I don't require it.
now we don't give you attention on Saturdays too.
I mean, it's not like I need it. You're making. I sound like an
But I want
unsavory.
to give
character.
it to you.
Yeah.
Well,
I want
that's
to give you, I want to give you attention.
It's fine. With my new Nintendo Switch, I can be in the living room still, and it's fine. We got a good setup now, but I think football's, at least on my end, because I just don't like watching sports. It's overrated. But again, millions of people in this nation love football,
Yes.
so I understand why people like
It's
it.
the greatest team game ever invented, my opinion.
What's the next guy?
Next one is lemonade. I think lemonade's overrated. Like, it tastes too sour. I don't like it. I mean, you can put vodka in it, but fuck lemonade. Fuck those kids who sell it too.
Fuck you. Lemonade's
fuck you, dude.
amazing. It's
No.
one of the most refreshing drinks
And
out
it
there.
can
No.
be sugary as hell if you want it to, and nice, or understated, a little less sugary, a little less acidic. You can do whatever you want with it, and I love it.
I don't really
Yeah,
like it.
I love it too.
Yeah.
I don't like it. It's a little bit too.
And we
too-
can't. It's rated, so I don't know if we can.
I think
call it
that's rated.
overrated.
People
Yeah.
love it. It's
Yeah.
not really either here nor there.
too sour for me. I don't like it. All right.
What's the next one?
Steak sauce, so like A1 or whatever.
Overrated. You eat your steak as it is.
Yeah,
If you want
it
to put
should
something
speak for
on it, you
itself.
put mushrooms or onions. That's it.
On a cheap cut, though, steak sauce kind of helps.
Don't buy a cheap cut steak.
Yeah, but like
Well,
if
you can
you
put
have
steak
to,
sauce on burgers too.
That
Like
is
I'm
good.
just
That's-
talking about
well-
the steak sauce, like in general, not on
Oh.
steak.
I'd still rather use barbecue or like buffalo sauce. You know, I don't like steak sauce.
I like to fuck around sometimes, like maybe a different like barbecue sauce flavor, and I'll use steak sauce. But I mean, I completely agree with you. Steak sauce does not belong on a steak. But like, yeah, on a burger, like I love like A1 burgers that just have like the grilled onions, the A1 sauce, and like
Yeah, those are good.
bacon on there. Like, oh,
Now A1 is a marinade. Really good.
You can marinate with that.
Yeah, you mix
Oh.
A1 and Italian dressing,
Oh yeah, you do that all the
and,
time.
and you yeah.
That's
not
right.
the rest of it.
What's our next one?
Next one. Syllabus week. So that is upon us. That is upon all college students and high school students who has ever kind of start, and they're like, the week isn't real. Like, this is fantasy land. Like, this is when you you don't have class at all. You go for like maybe 30 of the 50 minutes, and you just get the syllabus. You go over the class rules, and you get the fuck out of there, and then you go drink. And there are a bunch of drink specials. Is that underrated or overrated?
Go ahead.
I think it's rated because, and is it fair to keep saying rated because
Yeah,
we've done it
it's
like
fair.
3 times?
It's fair.
Okay, I think it's rated because everyone loves it for good reason, just like all the reasons you said. But for me in college so far, I've had like actual work to do on syllabus week. I don't know what classes people are taking, but like it's still a regular week on my end. But we also just neglect our responsibilities by drinking.
Syllabus week is overrated because by Thursday and Friday you're doing work.
Oh, sure.
They act like, oh, it's syllabus week, you don't have to do anything. No, you by the end of the week you're into your classes. You've had them a couple times.
The people that say it's free and like don't do shit, like we all do things on syllabus week, right? But the people who think it's like a free week are usually the ones who do shitty, and
Yeah.
we're not those guys.
Like, you can't fuck around in syllabus week. Like, syllabus week last semester was hell. Like, the semester was kicking me in my ass the second day of school, and it was gross. So like I hope syllabus week is fucking overrated because it's still work. Like you still gotta get shit done. Like but teachers don't fucking care that there are drink specials. They'll assign homework on day one. So fuck syllabus week.
Can I make a change and say it is overrated?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It's overrated.
It's overrated
because it is work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck those people.
Yeah.
Silly week. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
You're silly.
Being silly on silly week like I'm a chick on Instagram. Fuck that. Those captions make me want to blow my head off. I want my brain to be pasted on the wall when I see one of those fucking captions. All right, the next underrated, overrated, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Just overall, not a specific movie, not like a TV series, just overall the Ninja Turtles.
The comics are awesome. They're underrated. Some of those live action movies are weird, especially even the new ones are.
They're not good.
No,
I've seen them though, and they're okay.
The
As far as
second
shitty
one
movies
is
go.
garbage.
Yeah, but the first one was like.
I like
okay.
I like the ones with the costumes though, like The Secret of the Ooze. Like that movie's like
Guilty pleasure.
I'd almost call them guilty pleasures. All three of them though. No, because the third one where they go back to like ancient Japan, that one's kind of weird.
Oh yeah.
But the first two are good. I like the first two.
Yeah.
The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are awesome because they have the basic group dynamics.
Yeah.
They have like the hothead with Raphael, the leader with Leonardo, the smart one with Donatello, and the wild card with Michelangelo. And they got the dynamic, and that's why I like them. They need justice on the big screen, but they're awesome.
And
they're
Master
underrated.
Splinter. I think they're underrated as well. I think they should like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles like title card. Like if a studio gains a hold of that, it should be taken just as seriously as like Spider-Man. Like I think they're a great property. I think since like the animated show and since like the movies in the 80s and 90s, like they haven't really been like done justice. I think they got to like bring them back to like a cool level. And Michael Bay's like TMNT did not really work, so they got to figure it out because the Turtles are underrated, and having them be in shitty movies doesn't really help out the property name.
Whenever people complain about like comic-based movies or anything based off of like a source material, it almost seems ridiculous that they ever turn out bad if it's a good source. Like it makes no sense. The Harry Potter movies are great because they follow the source pretty well. Could I say that, Dan?
Yeah.
You would know.
Relatively, yeah.
Yeah, and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle comics of like the past few decades and even the originals like are good. And so to see like what they've done, it just doesn't make any sense, but maybe it's a little bit more marketable instead of the more mature themes they have there in the books.
And they do the same villain every time.
Yeah, it's like, well, they have a few too, but they always go with Shredder.
And he's hung, but like there's other
and they
ones.
always make Bebop and Rocksteady like these like weird, like just little crony guys, you know.
Fun fact, they were originally created off of a spoof of Daredevil. You know the hand in Daredevil?
Yeah.
The Foot Clan that's the enemy in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are actually based off of that. So it was all around a Daredevil spoof.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Didn't know that. All right, well, we all think Turtles are underrated. Next one, Mace Windu, the Star Wars character portrayed by Samuel L. Jackson in the prequels with the purple lightsaber.
I think he's overrated because he's just Samuel L. Jackson and he has a purple lightsaber. I don't think he's, and it might be due to the fact of the movies, but I don't really think he's that cool of a character. And then he just gets killed.
It's totally justified.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, he's cool and he's Samuel L. Jackson and all that, but like that's really all he's got going for him in that.
He does a lot of cool stuff, but if they should have fleshed his character out more because he really gets a ton of screen time in the last movie and he's in about half of it and he's in quite a bit, but like he's not fleshed out enough. He's overrated. He's just Sam Jackson with a purple lightsaber. Even though I like Mace Windu and like I'd love for him to be in like a Star Wars game or something like that and he's cool, he's just as a character wholly, he's overrated.
Yeah.
He's overrated for the reasons you guys said, but also because if you watch the prequels again, I mean, Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones are bad, but when you watch the characters and everything like that, and Revenge of the Sith saves the prequel trilogy, Mace Windu and the Jedi Council are very evil people, and they add to the plot, and there's a lot more to why Anakin turned to the dark side than people like to think. So when you analyze Revenge of the Sith, Mace Windu sucks, he's an asshole, and he's kind of the reason why Darth Vader became a thing. So he's fucking... He sucks. He's overrated. Like, he's not as cool as a character as everybody thinks. He's an asshole. So Mace Windu's overrated.
Can I interject really quick?
Yeah.
For our listeners, if you were ever wondering, man, that's a lot of overrated and underrated. Are they done? No. No. We are far from over.
There's a lot of underrated, overrated left.
Hope you like this, listeners.
Yeah.
We're filling up time here.
We're trying to blow time. All right, next one. Middle names. Are they overrated or underrated?
I think they're underrated. I never heard anyone shit on them. I think they're fun.
You're about to.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I think they're fun because they kind of diversify us as people, and it's like a little something. Your family can give you a middle name that has meaning, and it's just another way we can be our own individual selves.
I'm kind of indifferent. Like, if I were to choose a side, I'd probably go with overrated for the simple fact of they're never used. But I'm indifferent.
What is your middle name?
Kenneth.
Kenneth, that's right. Mine's O'Brien, for the record.
I know that.
And then, Dan, what's yours?
Let's hear Dan shit on
James.
middle name.
James. It's a bold one.
You fluctuated my opinion a little bit, talking about how they give us more individuality, which I guess is the point of them.
Yeah.
But their sole reason is to be used when your mom is fucking pissed at you. That is why they are used. Like, hearing Daniel James from my mother is the scariest thing ever, and anybody could probably say that, is when the first and the middle name is used. It is terrifying. But really, like, it doesn't do anything. It's not like I write my full name on like papers or anything like that. Like, it's I don't get them. You know,
James.
Yeah, like, I don't get them. I think they're pointless. I don't know when they came about. It was probably like England when, there was like a family line and you had to figure it out.
Yeah.
And Charles II, like, in his inbred family, and yeah, gross. So, like,
You guys both have very elegant middle names, I think.
yeah. So
Michael Kenneth, Daniel James.
So, you know how, like, the test where you make a porn name,
Yeah.
where it's your middle name and then the street you grew up on.
Mhm.
So I'd be James Kensington, and that's I'd be like the James Bond porno.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and Mike is Kenneth Jacob.
It doesn't work.
Yeah, I
Good
feel
fake
like you're in the weird porn
You could-
category.
Kenny-
Even the punish too.
yeah,
you
you're
shorten
like
that to-
punish, like bondage.
If you were Kenny Jacobs, that would work.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm Ken Jacobs.
like you're in the puke category.
All right.
Oh, God.
All right. Let's.
What's our next one?
James Cameron, director. So James Cameron has done Aliens, acclaimed movies, some Terminator movies, Titanic, and Avatar, and he's working on a bunch of Avatar sequels. James Cameron is overrated, not as a filmmaker, but in kind of wasting his talent, because he does a movie like every fucking decade, and it's because he puts so much goddamn time into them. Instead of being like an auteur like the rest of his kind, he sits back and judges people on their movies when he makes one every fucking decade.
Yeah.
James Cameron, I will always pay to see him, but like kind of like fuck him, because he just sits back and judges and hardly ever makes a movie, and when he does, it's like a hit and he lives off it his whole career, because really he's had like 7 hits and that's it.
He does make good movies though. Like, I love Aliens. I think
They're
that's awesome.
great.
Yeah.
But it's in the fact that like he could be like, if there's one director today to compare to James Cameron, it's probably Christopher Nolan, because of that like sci-fi genre they touch in. But Christopher Nolan takes chances and makes a movie every few years. James
Yeah.
Cameron hardly ever makes me and sits back and goes, "Oh, not as Wonder Woman, not as original as Sarah Connor." It's like, yeah, well, you fucking took decades to make that movie, asshole.
Yeah. Wow, you're heated.
Well, it's like I just always see James Cameron in the news, and it's like, you haven't made a movie since 2009.
James Cameron's an asshat. He's overrated. He doesn't deserve to be mentioned in like the great directors category, in my opinion, because of like how long he takes on his films. That shows that he puts all of his work into one thing because he's worried about making a bad movie.
I want to agree with you guys, but I'm trying to give like a devil's advocate spin on it. Like I think he's a
Well,
delusional crazy guy.
Titanic is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Everybody loves Avatar. I don't, but like, it's great. Aliens is fucking amazing. Like the Terminators, they're fucking awesome. Like, they're great. Like, he's made great movies, but why the fuck? Like, Avatar 2 is coming out 11 years after the
Yeah.
first one. Like, and then there are more, and they're gonna be like 3 years after each other each time. Like, I don't fucking care about Avatar that much to keep my interest in it.
Devil's advocate. He does make great movies pretty much every time. Like we could say that. But he also like has just been busy doing other shit. Like everyone knows how he's doing all that submarine shit for like the last 10 years. That's what he was doing. And also doing concept stuff for Avatar. So and he was saying he like was getting inspired for things for Avatar 2 when he was going in the ocean. So I think if he's going to take his time,
I thought that's what he was filming for. Like, he went down in the Mariana
Harsh.
Trench because
Yeah.
he was filming.
if it's that
He's gone back to do filming.
yeah,
there.
Oh,
maybe
has
he
he?
went there and then was like, "This is awesome.
Yeah.
Let's go back." Then like, good. I think like it's good to get some research into it. If that's how his process works, more power to him. But he's a delusional asshole, overrated.
Yeah.
But I'm giving him the devil's advocate in that like on the time aspect, I disagree because I think like if he needs that, he should do it. Not every
Okay.
director works the same, and some people take longer. Like
Yeah, but he'll be dead before Avatar 4 comes out.
yeah, but it's not his job to stay alive and make movies for us. It's his job to do his vision as he sees it. So if he needs to take time, sure.
Fair points. Fair points. That's why I put it on there because I'm like, this is a hot
That was
topic.
logical. Bill Nye is the next one.
Overrated.
Why?
All Bill Nye lives on now is being just a scientific personality, and now he's just become a political guy who talks about global warming. So like, I don't give a shit about Bill Nye. Go entertain some toddlers or wherever the fuck your niche is. I'm done with Bill Nye.
Dan, what do you have?
I think he's underrated. I think he's a very smart guy, and his opinion should be taken more seriously than just the guy who's on Disney Channel 20 years ago.
That's how I see him.
Well,
I know.
what's cool about him is that like he started as an engineer for Boeing, and then he did some stuff for NASA, and all he did was I don't know whose idea if he pitched it to Disney or whatever, but he just found a way to make science explainable, and he found a way to market science to kids in a way that was interesting. And since then, there's been I mean even with Cosmos, the original Cosmos, that was a fun way to get into it. But listening to Carl Sagan's monotone voice and just like bleak ideas maybe isn't always something that holds attention for kids. And every kid in our generation loved Bill Nye because he held our attention. He's not a doctor. He just knows how science works and how to explain it very well. And he gets people excited about it. That being said, I watched his new show, and it's really not what he did before. The original show was subjective, it was fact based, it was all about the concepts of science, the laws about it. I just had concepts, but that's very what it was. It was like a textbook that was exciting. And his new show was opinions, and sometimes not showing the other side of things. And so for that reason, I think he's overrated, and he kind of has been dethroned since that show came out, the Netflix original, and I don't really like it. But I even saw him live at the school I went to before I transferred here, and like it was a really good show. It was almost like a stand-up set. He was just talking about his life and the work he was doing, and so like I respect him, but I don't like the fact that he used his new show as a way for him to say his opinions instead of just giving the bare facts to a new generation.
He gave bear facts.
Facts about bears. That's the whole show. That's why everyone hates it. No.
He's got a great theme song from his original show.
Yeah.
And he made the greatest joke of all time. Never trust an atom because they make up everything.
Pretty good.
I know. And during Deflategate, he proved that that the Patriots are awesome because of the cold weather in Foxborough, the air can come out of balls, and that's exactly what happened. And Bill Nye proved that. So I love Bill Nye.
I went long there.
Next underrated, overrated. Motion controls in video games. They're overrated. Fuck the Wii. Fuck the Switch because they tried to bring that over from the Wii, and the era of the Wii is over. Motion controls suck, and they're terrible, and they're gonna start adding them to like TV remotes to select the tool or to select the channel and like select stuff like on Netflix. And I think it's stupid, and they shouldn't exist.
I agree because the Wii was a test to see if this was something to stick around, and it didn't. They just the PS4, Xbox, they stayed popular with their regular controllers that are always way better. Even when I play the Wii, I always play with a GameCube controller.
Yeah.
So I plug it in. Yeah, overrated.
And especially you mentioned Xbox with the Xbox Connect, which just watched your whole body. I think they sold so well because it made us think that we were living in the future and it was very exciting. But then when you get to brass tacks, like the technology really isn't there. It didn't work very well, and the games didn't mesh well with it. You really have to pick one or the other if you're going to design a game around it. And many people opted for the controllers over the motion controls, and I think that it just did so well because it's fun to market to people like this is the future of games. Buy it, and then people buy it.
VR is way better.
Yeah.
But VR even has controllers. You're holding stuff in your hands.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
it's not like you're looking around and are able to do stuff with your hands. Like motion controls, it's got to die.
There's games too in there that are like 100% dedicated to being for the VR too. Like it's not like trying to lean into one type of gameplay. It's all VR.
Yeah.
So that stuff's kind of cool, but I don't even know if that's going to take over. But that's its own thing.
All right. Bigfoot. Like in Bigfoot rumors and stuff.
I think he's underrated because he's like totally real.
I know.
And I hung out with him last year. He's like totally chill. Do you think he's real?
Yeah.
Yeah?
No.
Oh.
I don't have an opinion on this. He's fake.
Yeah, he's fake. So
I think he's underrated because my YouTube channel used to. We had Bigfoot costumes. We still have Bigfoot costumes, and we made like sketch comedy videos with the Bigfoot suits, and like they were really fun. And I just we only made 3 of them and stopped. So I guess I'm just feeling nostalgic for Bigfoot videos, but whatever. All right. Cinnamon. Is it underrated or overrated?
I think people when they think of cinnamon think about the sugar cinnamon combination over the actual like spiciness of real cinnamon. And I don't really like the full on cinnamon. Like think of big red chewing gum. Even that's got sugar, but like that's more of a cinnamon
overpowering.
It
experience.
sucks, and
Some people love it.
Fireball
Some people love
sucks.
it. Let's
Yeah.
give them that. But like I can't do it.
No.
It is versatile in cooking, though.
Yeah, you can do a lot
So
of things.
with that, it's all right, but it's overrated.
Overrated.
Yeah, it's big time overrated. It sucks.
Kraft mac.
Crunch bars.
Underrated.
Underrated.
Underrated. I love the
Love
Crunch
Yeah,
Bar.
they're fantastic. Like nobody ever really says they're like their favorite candy bar, but they're fantastic.
They're good.
I used to trade for only that during Halloween trades.
Oh yeah,
So good.
I love the Crunch bars. Smart home robots. So like being able to like tell your plugs to turn off and like turning up the thermostat and like adapting your home into a smart home. Because it's a rising popularity now with Alexa and everything like that. They're hooking up Alexa to like actual in-home electronics, so you can like turn on your blender and stuff like that. It's like that Disney Channel movie from the 90s.
Well, is that called smart home?
Mhm.
Okay.
I think it's overrated because the technology's not all there. It works about a third of the time.
Yeah.
I've been in people's houses.
Yeah.
And it doesn't work a lot.
Do you guys have any of that in your houses?
I've been to friends' houses and seen it work, and
Same,
it's not.
same
It doesn't
thing.
work.
It doesn't ever hear you all the
No.
way. And so it's another one of those things like with the motion controls is we're not there.
No.
But people are excited because it makes you think we're there.
Yeah, but it's overrated because it's just. I mean, they're gonna get the technology eventually, and it's gonna turn us into fat Wally people. So I don't want.
Can't wait for when we make it there.
I know. I
It's
don't
gonna be
wanna
awesome.
do that. No, it's overrated. Kraft mac and cheese. Underrated because it's fucking gas. I mean, like it's not like a breadcrumb like gas mac and cheese. I mean, like, but it's good. I like Kraft mac and cheese. I'll still eat it to this day.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna go rated on this. People love that. People love Kraft mac and cheese, right? I've never heard anyone talk shit on it.
Elaine didn't. This was her idea to put it in here.
Oh, she doesn't like it?
She doesn't like it.
Okay, man. Well, like...
Because she said that organic bullshit out there was better than Kraft mac and cheese.
No, she said the other way. Whatever. But I think this is rated. 100%.
I'm with Ryan.
It's so popular to like that stuff. I don't think anyone doesn't like it. But you know who didn't
Except
like
Elaine.
it?
Our friend Elaine.
I thought you said otherwise, but... Who didn't like it was the dentist once when I ate some and then threw up on them while I was in the dentist. I had it like right before we left, so when it came out, it was pretty much the same as when it was sitting in the bowl. I was a kid.
Ryan, can you open wide?
Yeah, that's basically like I just sat down.
But you're lying down at the dentist. You probably
it went out.
It was projectile.
Yeah,
that's funny.
I threw up on the dentist. I don't even know why we went. If I was feeling nauseous, I think I said to my mom like I don't feel good, and she's like, "Shut your mouth."
Yeah, dude. One time I felt nauseous and lightheaded. On a Sunday morning, I was sick, and I said I didn't want to go to church, but I was supposed to altar serve. And so my mom was like, "No, you gotta go." And I went and passed out in church, slammed my face against the altar, and they called the ambulance and everything like that.
Why do our parents give us that tough shit, buddy? Like, let's go. Why don't they like listen to us if we feel bad?
You know what? I'd rather they did it because we live in a pussy generation.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with it.
So
and we need those experiences.
Yeah, me passing out in church and slamming my face against the altar was character building experience.
Yeah.
Also taught me that.
I'm glad Mary Pat did that.
I was about
Brain
to say a
cell
very
damaging
vicious, sacrilegious comment, but I'm not going to say it.
Okay.
There's so many.
We're almost there.
We're almost there. Character-shaped snacks, so like mac and cheese or Cheez-Its or like fruit snacks. If they're shaped like Nickelodeon or Cartoon Network characters.
Underrated because almost every time in a character-shaped version of the already great snack, it improves texture.
They taste better.
The texture's so much better because it's all ribbed in because it's a character.
Yeah.
So much better.
Oh
every
my God.
time.
Yeah.
Underrated.
I'm with it.
Yeah.
I'm with it.
Well, remember Cheese Nips, the Cheez-It ripoff?
Yeah.
They suck normally, but when they're shaped like Fairly Odd Parents or SpongeBob, they're better.
It's the texture.
They're so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Scooby-Doo fruit snacks are the goat of fruit snacks.
Agreed.
Snow days, so like when it snows so much that you're off of school.
Yeah. Underrated, except when you have to shovel, that's the bad part. When you're like, oh, I got the whole day off, and then they're like, no, you have to shovel all this. It's like, well,
I don't hate shoveling.
it's just like if you want to have a lazy day.
You hate it?
I'm gonna rip into snow days. Give me a second.
Okay.
So
yeah, what's your take?
So snow days are overrated if you have to make them up. If you don't, I'm fine with them. We'll go underrated if you don't have to make them up. But if you do, I'd rather just have the day of school. Because I remember one time in high school, didn't we have to make up like a week?
No, because we had to make up a week, they just
off.
Yeah.
But like if we had to do that, that would
But
suck.
if it was like 2 snow days, we would have had to make up those 2 days at the end of the semester.
What's your
Snow
take?
days are overrated because when we're kids, it's school canceled and it's all fun. But you have to shovel. But you're at home, you can't go anywhere. Like, you can't drive because it's dangerous. Like, you can't go anywhere. So it just sucks because, like, you can't go do anything. And now that we're adults, snow days don't exist. You still have to go to work regardless of how fucking shitty it is. So they're overrated big time because they don't mean anything anymore.
Those days are gone. You're
Well,
right.
I'm gonna be a teacher, so that might be awesome.
Oh yeah. That's good on you, man. You got in the right kind of business.
Yeah. So, next one, Wild Hogs, the movie, starring Tim Allen, John Travolta, William H. Macy, and Martin Lawrence, and Ray Liotta.
I forgot Ray Liotta was in that.
Yeah.
His hair was totally dyed in that movie, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Del Fuego.
The biker gang was Del Fuegos. That's right. Can I start?
Yeah.
Underrated. That movie is like a good time.
Yeah.
I don't care what people say about it. It's pretty fun.
I turn it on every time it's on.
It's a good
It's
movie.
underrated.
It's
Yeah.
funny. It's underrated. I like William H. Macy in the movie, and he's got an apple tattoo.
Yeah.
John C. McGinley's the gay cop.
Yeah.
And William H. Macy has that good love story with the
chick.
with the Chili Peppers lady.
It's Marissa Tomei.
Oh my God, that's right. That's why I loved her.
Was it Marissa Tomei,
Yeah.
or was it the lady from The Pacifier?
I'm pretty sure it was Marissa Tomei.
I'm gonna look it up. Keep going.
All right, Gushers.
Fruit Gushers. Underrated. They're fucking amazing.
Yeah. I haven't
Like,
had them in so long, but
They're better than
so
Fruit
good.
by the Foot. They're better
Oh,
than
yeah.
Fruit Roll-Ups. The rest of that's bullshit. Fruit Gushers are like the best. Would you call them fruit snacks?
yeah. And they're actually the thing that they advertise to be. When you bite them, they gush.
Oh yeah.
You know, a lot of things are bullshit.
Yeah. They're amazing.
It was Marissa Tomei.
Was it?
Yeah.
Ah.
Right. Gushers. Underrated, overrated.
As a kid, they were rated. Everyone loved them, but now I don't like them because I really have almost like an aversion to overly sugared things, and I just think that they're just sugar juice packets.
Definitely.
And I can't get into them anymore. Like they're still good, but it's like after a pack, I just feel like, oh my God, I gotta brush my teeth, man. Like this is too much.
they're dense.
Our tastes have
I
changed.
feel like I gotta open up another one of those fuckers. They're so expensive. They're really expensive though. Like
Yeah.
they cost like $5 a box, and like it's gross. Cause the thing is in the Fruit Gushers like packets, like they all come stuck together.
Yeah.
So you eat them all in like one fucking bite, like, and then you just want to rip into another one because they don't satisfy your appetite
They never
whatsoever.
do. No
so-
snacks really do.
No, that's why they're snacks.
Yeah.
They're something that kind of hold you over, but because of the sugar intake, like you just want more.
It's addictive.
All right, horror movies.
Horror, right? Right?
Yeah.
Did I read that right? Okay. I think that they're underrated because a lot of them are bad, but it's kind of fun with your friends to watch one. Maybe let's say like the bad ones. It's fun to watch them and kind of just have a good time with your friends with them. And like sometimes they could have cheap jump scares, but the good ones are good. That being said, I don't watch a
Few
lot.
and far between. You get
Yeah.
about 1 to 2 a year that are great.
Yeah.
Horror movies are so overrated because they oversaturate the movie market. They make too much money and get sequels, and they force other movies not to make money. And when when a horror movie is actually smart, well shot, well directed, and what a movie should be, they're usually shit on by the general audience. So I can't stand horror movies.
That's a good point.
I think that they're like kind of poisonous at times for the movie market because they just, I think they encourage bad filmmaking a lot of the time and uncreativity.
Yeah.
I hate
You're
horror
totally
movies, unless they're great.
You changed me over.
98% of them are dog shit, and then the 2% that's like really smart filmmaking, like the Babadook, that has like deeper meaning to it. Like that's an awesome film, and it's scary shitty. But like 98% of horror movies, and this is a made up fact, I don't know this for real, but like a huge gigantic majority of horror movies just suck. And like Mike said, they get sequels, and they're terrible. And people like are like, "Oh, that's gonna be so good." It's like, no, it's not. It's gonna suck, and there's gonna be jump scares that'll give you nightmares. And then, but overall, they're terrible movies, and then they continue to be made, and there's too many of them.
So many are like forgiven for weak writing. It irritates me.
When
Just nonsense.
I remember when I went to the movies and left because that one girl that I dated was in there.
Yeah.
I remember because a few of the trailers had aired, and I remember because it was a younger audience, like our age of kids, there was a bunch of trailers for shitty horror movies, and after all of them, everyone was like, "Oh man, that looks good. Let's go see that." I was just like, "Oh my God, this is poison." You're totally changing me over to overrated, Mike.
Yeah.
It was fantastic.
Well, what's our next one?
Deep dish pizza. We're all from Chicago. We know it. Deep dish pizza's fantastic. But in terms of the overall pizza market, is it overrated or underrated?
It's underrated by the large market, but it's rated by us Chicagoans for sure.
As a Chicagoan, like I enjoy deep dish pizza. I prefer thin crust any day of the week, but I still love deep dish. I don't like though that everyone confuses. They just think of Chicago and they think deep dish, which is not really what it is because it's not Chicago pizza, even though it's advertised as it. So as a mainstream thing, I think it's overrated
Fair enough.
because it's not opening up people to what Chicago pizza actually is. They'll go, I've had Chicago pizza, I've had deep dish, wasn't a fan. It's like, well, that's deep dish, that's not Chicago pizza.
For the main reason I say it's underrated because more people should know about it, and like it's not, like it's really really good pizza, and people who like think they have it, like when they make Chicago style pizza anywhere that's not like the northeast side of Illinois, like it's not worth your time. So you got to go to Chicago. You got to try the pizza. It's definitely rated, but Chicago style pizza is more than just the deep dish. It's thin crust pizza as well, and Chicago's just the best place to get pizza. Don't at me. The Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I am going to go underrated. I understand when people like to give the movies flack, but a lot of people don't see them and just go, oh, it's another Marvel movie. Marvel movies are constantly well reviewed and keep getting made because they have something refreshing in almost every movie. Now, the beats of the story, if you want to argue that, sure, but like just look at what Spider-Man did and I'm sure Black Panther's going to do it. They keep finding new ways to get original. Doctor Strange is a movie about fucking magic. So people like to generalize these movies, but there's actually a lot of thought that goes into them, and it makes them extremely rewatchable. So for the story aspect, I call them underrated because people generalize them too much without really giving them a true chance, I think.
I agree entirely. Dan?
Yes, because they keep getting made because they're good, unlike horror movies that keep getting made because they suck. Like, look what you can do.
All right, the next ones were me. Can I do those ones?
Yeah.
Gift shops. Just general gift shops.
Overrated because they always have, so like I feel like they're in airports, they're like they're in cities, and like they're way too touristy, and they always like overprice their snacks. They're not like gas stations, they're gift shops, and like you buy a little bag of Ritz Bits in there and they cost like $3. Like fuck that.
Yeah.
And they sell like stupid magazines.
Especially the gifts too. They always just are cheap.
Like little keychains
Yeah.
with the Empire State Building on them, with your name on them. Like fuck that. It's stupid.
Yeah, I never buy anything overrated.
It's always good if you're like trying to get something for somebody, and you could always kind of find something nice. But man,
It's like
overrated.
this is tacky.
Yeah, a lot of the time.
Yeah.
The next one, popsicles. Dan?
They're overrated. Fuck popsicles. Wanna know why?
Why?
Be ice cream or don't be.
Of frozen treats.
Yeah, like you can't bite into them. They're bullshit. Like you're making a chocolate popsicle. Really, you're just trying to turn a popsicle into ice cream, and they're not the same thing.
Exception of what are they called? The rocket ones that are like red, white, and blue.
Oh, the one
Those are
remember
Exception of those overrated.
But remember the Flintstones push-up
Those
pops?
were good, too.
Those are like borderline ice cream. That's like a sherbet.
exactly.
They're in the middle.
Yeah,
So
those are good.
yeah,
But
but
Smirnoff in the summertime makes a bomb pop, which is the red, white, and blue one. They make a bomb pop vodka, and it's like, man, out of this world.
It could be good.
It's really good. Fancy candy.
like Lindor.
Yeah, like things that are not your ones that you're gonna find in the checkout aisle. The fancy candy.
I think it's overrated. Now, they're definitely amazing, but I don't know if they're worth their price because I'm not going to be disappointed with a Hershey's bar.
No. Yeah, I agree completely. I mean, like Lindor truffles are fucking godly, but I mean, we talked about Crunch Bars earlier. Picking that for $1 over like a $4 bag of like small Lindor
Sure.
truffles.
I think they're underrated because like I think it's the difference between like a cheap cut of steak or like a really good steak. Like sure, it's gonna give you that steak taste, but once you kind of have the taste for it, there's a clear, distinct difference. Like yeah, Hershey bar gets the job done. It's good. It's chocolatey. But if you had like a next caliber chocolate bar, that's like amazing. And you might not really notice a difference upon first try if it's the same, like it's a milk chocolate Hershey's and a milk chocolate fancy bar. Once you kind of like know what you're looking for, those are like a considerable difference, and I think it's sometimes worth the money. But that being said, the cheap bars in like a Reese's always gets the job done. It's good.
Remember when Charlie and the Chocolate Factory came out and they had Wonka bars?
Were they good?
They were amazing. They were so good, and now they don't have them anymore. But what else? I lost my train of thought. Let's move on.
Okay. Local news.
I'm gonna go underrated because local news sometimes has some fun stories in it, and if you're a townie, it's great. I hate everything else about media and news, but I'm okay with local news actually.
Okay. Dan?
I work for a local newspaper. It's underrated.
I'm talking about like the broadcasts
Oh.
specifically, not the newspapers.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I mean, when I'm back home in Chicago, I want to watch news just about what's going on in Chicago.
Okay.
I don't turn on CNN because they're not talking about like a crash on like I-94 or something like
That's
that.
fair.
Like so, and then when I'm down here, yeah, I want to watch local news because I don't need to. I don't like need to know what's going on somewhere else. I mean, that's pretty closed-minded of me, but I mean, why does like a lion breaking into a store in like Oregon? Like, why does like
That happened?
No,
No.
that can't happen. That can't happen. Like, why? That doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, and like the national news now is always just sad to watch. So I get that.
It's sad with an exclamation point because
Yeah.
they like fucking talk about Trump.
I think local news broadcasts are overrated because I think that like it's a great way to find out about like new local restaurants or like something cool like opening. Sure. But I don't like a lot of the filler stories that they have, or they're going to be like, coming up after the break, we heard about a cat fashion show
Oh.
nearby. It's always just like a lot of fluff stories, and I'm like, really? While there's like, obviously we just said that the news is kind of shitty, but like there's much more important things that we should be concerned about. But local news, it's great if you just want to be going through your morning routine. It's just something to throw on, and there's always like something eye candy or something cool to hear that they're talking about. But I just don't like it because it's such fluff. I would rather be doing something else in my morning.
Now, do you incorporate the newspaper with local news?
No, I just mean the broadcast specifically, because local news, you have the option to go and look for what you want to read. So you could go to your section with the food critic, you could go to your section with the local sports news, but you are stuck on the local news broadcast, and you have to watch that cat fashion show story, and they always hook you like, is this project poisoning our water? Is it poisoning your teens? Local teens are getting high off of
Tide Pods.
book spine glue.
Oh,
Tide Pods. Are they actually?
people are eating Tide Pods.
They
like
look
they're
delicious.
stupid.
I don't
You want
blame
me to
them.
go grab a couple?
Yeah, let's get high.
All right.
But no, it's
You do you get high if you eat it?
no, you die
Oh.
if you eat it.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah,
Totally wicked.
It causes like spinal failure.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Why are they eating them?
Because people are, you know what? Eating Tide Pods is underrated because any idiot who's gonna fucking eat a Tide Pod deserves to fucking die. How about that? They deserve to die. This is Tide's perfect way of cleansing the herd a little bit. We're gonna get rid of the weak ones. Who's ever
Yeah.
gonna eat a Tide? I mean, not the kids. Parents, if you're good parents, keep the Tide Pods away from a place where kids can eat them. But if you're an adult or have a mind that's not a baby's or a child's, and you eat a Tide Pod or you do it, like, you deserve to die. Fuck you. Yeah, you deserve to die.
Can we admit though, like they look pretty good?
No.
There's
They
some
look-
colors in
No,
there.
they look like poison, which is exactly what they are. They're meant
Since-
to clean
Let's
dishes.
go eat a Tide
Since
Pod.
they were created like in the past decade, ever since I saw the commercials, like, man, those look good. I never eat one. I'm like almost there, but I would never eat one.
How are we
But,
still
man,
fucking
No, 'cause
talking
this is-
about
They
this?
look good.
Because you've said that more than once, and
Yeah.
more than once I've said no, they don't. They look like laundry soap.
if some like local candy shop made candies that look exactly like Tide Pods and then like are candy and taste like berries, I'd get like 24 of them. That sounds awesome.
They kind of do. They're gushers.
Yeah, in a way, yeah. They're just huge gushers. But man, like one of these days, you're gonna find me with just soap pouring out of my mouth and a failed spine.
I hope not.
All right. All right. All right.
I'd almost rather find you hanging from the ceiling fan.
Coming up, SNL. What do you think of Saturday Night Live?
For every good episode of SNL, there's some stinkers.
There's probably like 5 bad ones.
There's probably
Yeah,
five
every
bad
good
ones.
one.
So
Yeah.
SNL is overrated, especially with. So for it, SNL went on for decades without getting attention, and now that they're making fun of Trump every week with Alec Baldwin and fucking unfunny Kate McKinnon and the rest of them. We've said that a couple times on this podcast. They're just lacking originality, but yet now that they started doing that, the Emmys are starting to recognize SNL in the comedy section. It's like, you guys haven't done this for years. Give me a break. SNL's not nearly what it used to be with Chris Farley and Sandler and all those guys. Will Ferrell. It's not even close anymore. SNL is so overrated.
Whenever we watch old episodes of Saturday Night Live, though, we do see the highlights. I just feel like it's always been the same.
Yeah.
You know, like people just kind of fall in love with their era of SNL, and if you look back on episodes, they're not going to put a bad sketch up on YouTube. They're only going to put the funniest one out there. So like you can't really judge, like say like, oh, this era was the best era of SNL, because it's always been the same formula. Like there are going to be bad sketches, and like there's going to be a golden one that's just going to be the best one, and you're going to remember that forever and say SNL is so funny because of that sketch. But there are so many bad ones and there are good ones. So I'm in the middle, but I think in terms of underrated, you know what, I'm just going to say rated. That's my first rated of the day. I think SNL is just SNL. Like there are funny people that work there, but there are way more bad sketches than good ones.
Yeah. And that's like we were talking about it before the show of like when we're thinking of topics, like we'll throw out 6 of them and then one of them's like actually worth doing, you know, like
Yeah.
they just have to broadcast that every week and it's stressful. So not everything's going to be good, but every once in a while there's something that's amazing.
Yeah.
But I have a question for Mike. What do you not like about Kate McKinnon? And is it that they like used her as Hillary a lot this year?
It's just like they just, I don't know. They just throw her in your face with every sketch, and she doesn't make me laugh. She's like, I think her Bieber impersonation's terrible. People think it's funny. I just don't think she's as funny as everyone makes her out to be. And now she's in like movies and stuff. She plays the same character and everything. I just don't. They make her out to be this like great character actor. I don't even know about actor, but she can play anything, and I just don't think she's that funny.
The funniest sketch she was in was when she's like the alien abduction lady with Ryan Gosling. That's the funniest she's been. But she wasn't really like playing a character there. Like I don't think she's a good impressionist. I think she's funny. I think she's talented. But yeah, she's become the face of SNL, and I don't think she's like.
I don't think she has the chops that
No.
like they think she does.
She was a lot better when she started, and now they're kind of doing the same kind of things with her, I think. But
like Keenan's been on the show for years, and he was never the main guy. He's always been the side guy, and he's great at it. So you know.
For sure. I just was wondering. I think
No,
it's
you're fine. Like she's not Kristen Wiig,
No,
or
that's
Amy
what I'm saying.
or Amy Poehler or Tina Fey. She's not that funny.
I want to say it's underrated in the sense that you have to recognize that it's going to be every few is going to be good, and there's always the stinkers. And when it started, it was always like the counterculture show, and it still kind of is, but it's a lot more popular now, and they kind of make sketches so it could get hits online, especially, and go viral. But I think we need a show like that.
Did you see Sam Rockwell drop the F-bomb this week?
It was funny.
Funny,
It was
yeah,
pretty
because he was
funny.
the host and like he was on there and they didn't catch it early enough in the broadcast. It was
That's
funny.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but by the time it aired on the West Coast, it was beeped, but the clip is out there. Like
That's sweet.
People heard it on the East Coast in Central Time. So
He's like, "No, you fucking idiot!" And he's like, "Oh."
yeah, that cost Lauren Michaels a lot of money.
Yeah.
All right.
All
The
right,
final
the
one.
last underrated, overrated.
Candles, whether it be to light a room or be scented and smell nice. Candles. What do you think?
I think they're overrated. They smell great. I love candles, but like I'm always afraid that they're gonna burn a house down because they're the cause of fires, and I'm always worried like that they're never out. Because even when you blow them out, like they're still like smoking. I feel like they're just gonna start a
Yeah.
fire. So I'm afraid of them. I'm never like they always keep me on edge, and I don't like that. And they smell nice, but like I'm worried like what because I like when I have a blanket on, I always walk around with it draped around me like a cape, and I'm always afraid like the tail end of it's gonna get caught on fire. So you know.
I think they're underrated because they do more than just smell good. They set the scene
Yes.
a little bit. If it wants to be romantic, you dim the lights. It makes you feel like you have a fireplace when people like us don't have the opportunity to have a fireplace. So I like more so the mood that a
I
candle
love
can
lighting
set.
up a sandal.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go underrated. I love the sandal.
I agree for the same reason because the scent goes a long way. But like when if we're just lounging or just having a dinner, getting a candle in there really makes a difference. Even though it has no business doing that, it's just like wow, that it adds a little something to the scene. You're totally right.
Yeah, but see,
but it is scary.
I,
You're right.
I see. I love the candles for all the reasons you guys just listed, but like without a candle cover, like they're at risk. Like
Death
you're at the dinner table. It's your first anniversary with your girlfriend. That you've got a nice long candlestick. It tips over and you both die in a fire.
We didn't soak the tablecloth in gasoline.
Let alone themselves.
Yeah, but like the tablecloth, it's a nice like like velvety, like satin maybe like tablecloth and the candle like
And
tips
it's over.
You're reaching for your glass of water. You tip the candle over and you die.
Isn't that just so romantic though in a way?
No,
No.
I don't want to die with my like 1 year anniversary girlfriend. I want to die with my like 20th anniversary wife.
20th Century Fox.
Yeah, I want to die with 20th Century Fox.
Me too. I would love to die to that theme, but that's unrelated entirely. Are you guys ready to move on to the main topic?
Yes.
Okay.
Because we're an hour and a half into this
Oh
episode.
my shit! Seriously?
And we probably have lost all of our listeners to this point.
We should
but
apologize for length.
Yeah, but we're having a good time. So if that's our recurring segment, underrated, overrated. If you think I'm getting a phone call,
Hey,
Don't
probably
answer
not
it.
take
I'm not going to answer it.
Good.
No.
Yeah. But if you think any of those topics, that like 30 topics, whatever we just had, like if you think any of them are underrated, just let us know. But if you want us to have another segment or have us talk about something else, just let us know as well in the comments. Subscribe to us, unsubscribe, and resubscribe. Give us 2 subscriptions. Now let's move on to our main topic.
If you're still with us, congratulations. Our main topic this week: what is your guilty pleasure TV show or movie? It's always those things where they're not very well critically recepted, and there's a stigma about them. They're kind of a shit show, right? But you watch them because they've hooked you in, either with their commercial breaks, or you kind of enjoy the content, even if you are kind of shy to admit it. Mike, what's your first one? We're doing 3 each.
God damn it, Nick.
Should we just
I'm getting a call.
Should we just
So-
fire them off to get through the show?
We
All
just,
right,
no,
Already
just go
an hour
around.
and a
All right,
half.
all right. Little Nicky, starring Adam Sandler. Terrible movie. I laugh at it. It's so bad. But a lot of people like Mr. Deeds, and I'd consider that a terrible movie and a guilty pleasure. Little Nicky.
Sounds good. I'm just gonna go to mine then. Riverdale, the CW Archie-based show, Archie Comics, a comics classic. Riverdale's a weird murder mystery teen drama, and it's so bad, but Jesus, it's like really addicting. And the first season's all about a murder that happens, and they're trying to all piece it together while also being in high school. All of the Archie-based characters are not even like remotely similar to the comic characters, and it's so stupid and
It's the
superficial.
worst.
The main character sucks. Going on to Dan.
My third one is a TV show as well. It's Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. I shit you not. I watch this show. I like Saturday morning cartoons, and I like watching kid shows just because. I mean, I could list so many of them that widely isn't accepted. But I like watching kids shows, and Mickey Mouse Clubhouse is one that I really enjoy. I like the Mystery Mouse Catools, but now they've got some Mickey racing bullshit show where like they're driving in cars all the time, and they live in this new town, and they're all these bullshit characters. actors that aren't like Clarabelle Cow or Horace Horsecollar, like
course.
like the original ones that have been around since the 20s. Like they're these new guys. It's like this asshole like dog guy who's like a famous race car driver, and I've never seen him, and it's bullshit, and I hate it. But Mickey Mouse Clubhouse is a guilty pleasure of mine.
This is my number 2. I was immensely into this when I was younger, and if it's still on today, I don't watch it and keep up with it regularly, but if it's on, I'll turn it on, is the World Wrestling Entertainment, WWE, one of my guiltiest pleasures of all time. When I was a kid, I loved it. Now it's for nostalgia if it's ever on, but my God, it is so cheesy. It is so bad.
Is there somebody in our house?
It could be Matt.
It maybe Matt's back from Texas.
No one
Matt,
just
our roommate,
came
was
into
in
our
Texas,
house.
and
World Wrestling Entertainment.
that's great. And there were so many kids our age who were saying like, "Oh, wrestling's fake," and it's like, yeah, but the dramas and character arcs are awesome and well written. Like they've had a lot of famous writers come in to write like seasons of it, and like it's cool, dude. It's fun.
It's so cheesy.
Yeah.
The good guy always wins, but it's awesome.
Yeah. My next one, Cake Boss. We recently, like a couple months ago in this apartment, stayed up until 3 a.m. watching like 6 hours of Cake Boss. That show has no reason to be as addicting as it is, but they keep roping you in every time. It's like, oh, we're going to make him a cake. And then, oh, we dropped the cake down the staircase. And then it's like, oh, yeah, we ended up getting the cake. They were happy.
This is the crew. Mia Familia.
Yeah. Cake Boss sucks, but I love Cake Boss. Dan?
My next one is a movie. It's The Benchwarmers. I'd call it my favorite comedy of all time. I watched that movie and laugh just as much as I did the first time I've ever watched it. I'll like randomly like quote it obscurely in a conversation. Like it's such a funny movie. I love it so much, and I'll watch it every time it's on. And people like tell us like, "Oh, the movie sucks." Like, no, it doesn't. It is so.
They have a fair
funny.
point by saying
No,
it's not
no,
good.
It's really dumb humor, but it's fun
Like,
humor.
remember when
It's
John?
amazing.
Remember when John Heater lets go of the bat and it goes into the guy's stand and he goes, "Hey, see." It's so dumb.
Dude, and then when they're in the sporting goods store and he's got the big glove and he's like, "Oh, I look like a Borak warrior from the Captain Mighty series."
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
It's amazing.
What
All
the
right.
fuck?
All right.
It's such a funny movie.
All right, my final one is Anaconda. I love this movie and it's terrible. Anaconda, The Hunt for the Blood Orchid. It is the sequel to Anaconda. It is garbage. It's about these explorers who get lost in the jungle and hunted by snakes and they die, and it's just poorly done horror. But I love it.
What is the blood orchid?
It's so the blood orchid, they find out, gives the anacondas everlasting or like extended life and extended growth. And the scientists are like, we need to get this for the humans. So they go in there to find the blood orchid, which for some reason they have no fucking clue where it is. So they just go meandering through there.
hunt for
They
it?
go down a waterfall after fighting a crocodile. They go down the waterfall, and then they're stranded looking for the blood orchid. One of the guys loses his mind during the movie and starts killing people off.
What the hell?
And then there's a snake orgy at the end. A snake orgy where they're all like mating and
Do
people
snakes
are...
have sex?
Yeah, it's like this ball of like entanglement.
Yeah,
It's
how do you-
disgusting.
I think maybe like a thing comes out.
And then they shoot a flare gun into like a gas tank or something, and it blows all the snakes up. And then they escape via raft, and it's like, how are they gonna get back?
We gotta watch this.
It is so bad, but so good.
That sounds awesome.
I refuse. It's terrible.
It's like a 4.5 on IMDb,
It's awful.
and I love it.
My final one is Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. The Guy Fieri show where he goes all around the U.S. and eats food and
Dude,
says how good it is.
He kicks ass.
I love Guy Fieri. Like he looks like a douchebag because that's his like brand, but he seems like a very nice guy, and apparently he is. But like the show is pretty dumb because he's just like, I'm eating this food, and coming up, I'm gonna have this delicious food.
Well, it's just another travel, like kind of
Yeah,
a travel
those are-
TV show, and those are definitely guilty pleasures.
For sure, and like it's so pointless because you just get hungry, but like it's fun, and he's like a weird character that he kind of puts
yeah,
on.
like
and-
mine would have been Man versus Food.
Mm.
But I can't consider that bad or like guilty. Like
Yeah.
WWE, I'm guilty of watching.
Yeah.
But like that show, I'm like, no, this is delicious food. I'm
That's
into
true.
it. But I understand your point.
yeah,
My final one is both an old TV show and like a movie within the last 10 years. Speed Racer. I love everything about Speed Racer, and it's amazing. And the Wachowski brothers,
Oh,
or
that
sisters movie is, I love it. I love watching it. It is like, to me, like I think it's a good movie, and like it is like, it's race cars and it's CGI fest, but like it's funny.
I got another one that is related to that.
And the old cartoon of Speed Racer is entertaining as well. And yeah, I just really enjoy Speed Racer. I'm a big Speed Racer fan, and I like one of my goals in life is to like own a real Mach 5. So
You talking about Speed Racer made me think of Spy Kids Game Over.
Oh.
What a guilty pleasure movie that is. Sylvester Stallone's in it.
he's the toy maker, and Elijah Wood is the guy.
Oh, it's not good.
No, it's not.
But it's
It's the first
I'll watch.
it's the first 3D movie I ever saw. I think it still had the red and blue 3D glasses
I was just looking through screenshots of this movie.
of Speed Racer.
I don't even. Was the plot good? I don't even
Yeah.
remember. It's good.
Yeah, it's just a CGI fest with like dorky like.
Okay.
Matthew
It's campy.
Fox is Racer X.
Yeah, it's very campy. I mean, but like I enjoy it almost for the same reasons like I enjoyed Justice League, though Justice League was trying to take like a serious tone. Speed Racer got turned into a live action Saturday morning cartoon, and
Yeah.
that's why like I love it. So,
All right.
Emil Hirsch is Speed, and Christina Ricci is Trixie.
And John Goodman looks like Mario.
John,
Yeah, I was
John,
just gonna
John,
say-
John Goodman is Pops Racer.
Wait, are we through all of them?
Yeah.
Oh, I collected all the Speed Racer Hot Wheels cars, and I still
They
have
had those at McDonald's, right?
Yeah, well they had McDonald's toys. Believe me, I have all those too. But they also had Hot Wheels cars, and
Ah.
I still have them.
So I didn't know. Like I knew you liked him, but I didn't know you liked Speed Racer that much.
I do. And
Damn.
we were in 8th grade when it came out, and I went to the Catholic school. You guys don't know this, but like in 8th grade, like a few people that I went to school with, like we'd bring the cars into school and we'd like trade them and stuff like that.
That's cool. I like
I
that.
shit you not. Like we did that.
I don't remember who this was, but when we were in high school, there was this like upperclassman who had wait, what are the cars called? You just said them.
Hot Wheels.
Hot Wheels. Jesus, it went right over my head. He had a Hot Wheels car, and like completely in the way of everyone else, would drive it over the sides of lockers and go.
That's right. That's
like
right.
totally like he was a normal kid. He just did it because it was hilarious, and like he would get in the way of people and just go and just do it on lockers, and it was so funny to see. He did it like every day. Go that guy.
Yeah.
That's so funny. And so you remember him too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He was an upperclassman though, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, that was so funny. Any final thoughts on the show?
This is gonna be our longest episode ever, though. I
see
think
movies.
I think we had riveting conversation here today.
Just an hour and a half.
What's it at?
Hour 42.
Wow,
Oh.
that's the longest one ever.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
To the listeners, let's apologize.
Yeah.
Because now we've just added in like 15 more minutes about like Anaconda and the bench warmers.
Hey man, Anaconda, right? We're gonna watch.
I
it.
want to watch that now. So if you stuck through, congratulations. We'll send you a T-shirt. We won't send you a T-shirt.
No, we don't have t-shirts
We don't-
to send.
We can't
Unless
even afford our own.
unless you subscribe, unsubscribe, and then resubscribe, because then you give us 2 subscribers, then we'll get famous, and then we can maybe send you a T-shirt. So do that, and then you make your way to the next level.
Any final stuff?
Leave a 5-star review. Subscribe, unsubscribe, resubscribe. We love you guys. Comment on our stuff.
All right, and that is this week's podcast. Remember that each and every Monday morning we upload to YouTube, SoundCloud, and iTunes. Give us a follow on Facebook and Twitter to keep up with what we're putting out there. And as always, thank you for listening.
Love you guys.
What if God was one of us? Just a slob like one of us.